Now, you know, some of y'all owe this man an apology because The Witcher Season 1 was quite entertaining. Hey everyone, it's Sharona from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Witcher Season 1, which is now streaming on the Netflix platform. So The Witcher is actually based off of a series of books that were written by Andrzej Sapkowski, and also two which spawned a couple of games. I have not played the games because I just have to be honest with you guys, I am trash at video games. It's just never been a talent of mine since I was a child. I try, but I always fail. So I am more of a person who actually read the books and is currently reading the books right now to kind of prepare for these different seasons. And so for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I tell you what I liked about the series, what I didn't like about the series, and is it worth your time streaming or not? Because that's all what we need to know. We have to protect our time and make sure that we're giving time to the things that deserve it. So going into The Witcher, there was a lot of controversy when it was first announced that Henry Cavill was actually going to be playing Geralt of Rivia. And the best way to explain to you, for those who are not familiar with the source material, a Witcher is basically kind of like this magical human being who is bred for the sole purpose of fighting monsters. And so this is the character that Henry Cavill is playing. And you guys had a lot to say when they showed those photos. Everyone was upset, and I was just like, guys, it's a photo. We haven't seen him do anything. Can we just wait for the series to happen? And I will have to say, after watching season 1, you guys definitely owe him an apology. Now, I had a chance to see a couple of clips when I was at Comic-Con this past July, and you know, to hear Henry Cavill, how he really like went for this role. He shot his shot. He just kept nagging to make sure that he can get this role. And I have to say, you can truly tell after watching season 1 that he really is a Witcher fan. And I will have to say, for those of you who play the video games, the voice, like down to the voice, I was like, you really did that. His voice acting with Geralt is very similar to the video game, kind of this raspy, low tone, but commanding voice. I was like, okay, I am feeling this a little bit. I wish I could have got more of like the beard, like the 5 o'clock shadow, and less of kind of the clean shaven version that we do see in The Witcher. But hey, it's the first season. I might get me a little 5 o'clock shadow or a beard in the next season, which has already been greenlit. Season 2 is already greenlit for The Witcher. But I really enjoyed watching him portray Geralt. I thought that his sword fighting, the violence, there was a scene, I think it's in the first or second episode, I was like, ooh, this is bloody and kind of gory. I was like, I am here for this. There's a lot of hardcore violence because the whole notion is the Witcher has no emotion. He is really shunned by society. They're highly disrespectful to him. And so it's really him, you know, trying to find his way in this world that truly doesn't accept him. And I would have to say that I also enjoyed his how he interacts with other characters throughout the series, and I really can't wait to see what else that he has in store for this character in the upcoming season 2. And I really hope that we start to put a little bit more respect on Henry Cavill's name, because I think he's done more than enough to prove why he deserves to be in this industry, why I feel like WB should be paying him all the coins to continue to play Superman. And I think him portraying Geralt is just really solidifying who he is as an actor, what he has to offer, and just pure joy that he can bring to these different franchises, okay? So next we have to talk about Ciri, who is another integral part of the Witcher story, played by Freya Allan. And so I really enjoy her character. It's funny to kind of see her talk in Comic-Con where she says she was nervous. It's kind of one of her first big acting roles. And I think that she does a very great job of bringing the presence of Ciri to the screen, but also too, it's fun watching Ciri's story to know already who Ciri is and what Ciri is capable of, and to really see them start from the beginning of her character. I think it's going to be very fun to watch her character grow throughout the course of the different series of The Witcher, and to also kind of get more into her story or why she's so important to Geralt. You really don't get to see that necessarily in this season, but for those of you who know the source material, I think you understand why it's so cool to kind of see her journey play out before our eyes. But I have to talk about one of my favorite characters of the season is Yennefer. Of course, it's Yennefer. Played by Aya Shalatra. I really enjoyed her character. I really enjoyed the story arc that she has in this first season. She was probably one of the most interesting story arcs to watch play out throughout the course of the first half of this season. To watch how her journey begins, to see where she is now. She basically portrays this powerful maid. She's a sorceress, and she kind of has a love-hate relationship with Geralt. And I really like watching the interaction between them. You get to notice that even though they have two very different upbringings and two very different sets of circumstances, but they're so alike, and you can understand the attraction that they have for one another, the attraction that you see when they're both in the same scene. And I can't wait to see how that plays out even more. But I just love Yennefer's confidence, how she's able to take a hard situation of how she kind of grew up and to really use that to fuel her motivations. And I think because we get to see so much of her story, you understand why Yennefer acts the way that she does. You understand why she makes the certain decisions that she does. And you understand what really brings her and Geralt together as they kind of cross paths throughout the course of the season. But one of the things that I truly appreciate about The Witcher and what it does both in front of the camera and behind the camera is its diversity. And this is something that is very important to me, especially when we get into the fantasy genre, because I love fantasy. Like shows like this gives me all of my life. If I can just watch shows and movies like based on fantasy, I would just be a happy person forever. And so it was very fun binging this, but what made this season even more important to me was the diversity that we get to see not only behind the camera, but because there are episodes that are directed. There's a woman who directs 2 episodes. There's someone from Argentinian descent who gets to direct 2 episodes as well. But there's diversity, and the creator, Lawrence Schmidt, who's worked on a lot of shows, The Defenders, in different capacities, Defenders, Power, Daredevil, and even some of the directors have worked on some of these same shows as well. And to be able to see the diversity behind and in front of the screen is so very important. And not only having diversity on screen, but there are characters who actually get to do stuff, who get to say stuff, who are important parts of this plot that is unfolding across season 1. And I was just like, wow, it was so easy for them to do it. And it doesn't feel like they're checking a box. It makes sense. They're great actors. They mesh well with everyone on screen. And so I really want to give a big kudos for them having diversity, because if you can't have diversity in fantasy, which is a lot of stuff that is just made up, then where else can you have it? And so I wanted to give them kudos for that, but also too for the portrayal of women in The Witcher. There are a lot of strong, powerful women. There is a woman who gets to be a queen, okay? Not only a queen, but fighting for her kingdom, literally fighting for her kingdom, and also too just breaking down the rules of the patriarchy. I was very refreshing to see. You don't really get to see a lot of that, especially in these types of shows. And so with the characters as Yennefer, and also too the person who helped train Yennefer, it's so great to just see powerful women taking control of their destiny, taking control of their lives, and doing what the heck they want to do because they felt like doing it. I really enjoy how the women are portrayed. But for those of you like me who binge series at work sometimes, some of these episodes are not safe for work. There is nudity. I was watching this like, Lord, y'all trying to get me fired today. I just want to let you guys know, if you binge stuff at work, if you're watching stuff around little kids, this is not the show to do that, because there is some nudity in the series. But I think a lot of people will be very satisfied while watching The Witcher, especially as we get to see how they bring these creatures to life, for those of you who have read the books or played the games. But also, too, you can tell that they put a lot of care into season 1, especially with the effects. Normally, it's kind of cheap season 1. You know, they just getting started out. They don't have all of that budget. But I have to say, overall, season 1 of The Witcher is very pleasing to look at, as far as the set designs, the different areas that they filmed, and also too, because we are using magic, because that's a huge component of what The Witcher is. I think how some powers are used, spells, and all of these things, I think a lot of people will like how the effects look as well. If I had to say there's one huge issue that I did have with season 1 of The Witcher, it would have to be how the episodes are played out. It's a little bit all over the place. And I will have to be honest, if you have not read the books or played the games, I guarantee that you're going to be lost, because even I was lost a couple of times because they kind of go back and forth from present and past, and they don't really like let you know that they're doing that. You just have to figure it out as you're watching the episodes. And I think for me, it was very distracting. I felt like it was kind of all over the place. And I think for me, when it works best is when we're kind of diving deep into these different character arcs. And also, too, just establishing Geralt of Rivia as who the Witcher is, when we get to see him go on journeys of fighting monsters. I think those are the parts that I really did enjoy. And I think I would have definitely reordered how the episodes were done just to make it a little bit easier to follow along, especially for those who are just walking into this blind. But I would still say it's a fun and entertaining series. It gives us the violence that we deserve, the creatures that we deserve to see, with the magic mix within it. Great character development from all of its main leads. I can't wait to see what they do in season 2. But for now, you guys got me hooked. You got a fan out of me. I enjoyed The Witcher. I definitely would tell you guys this is worth the binge. With the dismal box office movies that are coming out this weekend, I would tell you to save your coins for the movies, get on your couch, and binge The Witcher season 1, now streaming on Netflix. So those are pretty much my thoughts about the season. Please share your thoughts on what you thought about The Witcher in the comment section below. Let me guys know if you want me to do a spoiler. I don't have the time to do a spoiler, but I can make time to do a spoiler review. Just let me know if you guys want to see it or not. But those are pretty much my thoughts on season 1 of The Witcher. As always, my name is Sharona from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.